Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It is TAPNGRL here from the Consciousness Creators Summit. Hey, there's Pretty. I should have known you was going to show up first. I love that. Okay, so I am going to refresh my page. What you guys want to do is start sharing what we're, let's see. I'm opening my phone, all these gadgets at the same time. Whoa. Okay, today we're going to be talking about rant tapping. We're going to be talking about pain and sickness, okay? And just so you know, next week we're going to be tapping about other stuff. I got Allie, I got Darlene, I got Coretta, Steve, yay. Now you all know, I bet, how many of you guys tuned in because you said, I want to hear what the hell that girl says today. What comes out of her mouth today? Because you know me, if it goes in the brain, it comes out the mouth. Actually, I've been pretty good at filtering here. So let's see. I am going to share this, and if y'all would do the same, then I'll get started here, start the timer. I'll get started here in a couple minutes. Let's see, let me get my phone on Do Not Disturb, because this is such good stuff. We don't want to be disturbed. Okay, and get this on here. Shared that. Now, you guys share. You guys make sure you're getting it. Put it on a friend's timeline. Put it in a group. Put it wherever you can. Because we're going to be talking about some cool stuff. And you know, I have been studying absorbing law of attraction for years, okay? And when I found the tapping, or the tapping found me, however you want to put it, what actually happened was then I started incorporating the teachings and knowings of law of attraction. 2012, as some of you know, was my big awakening. Now, I've had others since then. I have small ones. Listen, you will never stop awakening. Let's just know that, okay? No matter how much you know, you will get more depth. It's just amazing how the depth comes over time. So I want to thank everybody who's been watching, sharing, liking, questions, comments. You guys writing your comments about how you're using it and how it's helped you has been so amazing. Showing it to your kids, amazing. Now, let me tell you, this right here is my girl Tappin' Honey. I have another one of these downstairs, except of course it being blue, right? Because you want to have blue for boys, and that's Tappin' Buddy. So let me start out by telling you about how I got these two. I know when I started doing the tapping and I started learning about how a lot of this was really childhood memory, childhood stuff. And that one of the things that was going on is called Tappy Bear when you do it with kids. And they would actually have like I could have put dots on here or something, but when you're working with kids and they tap the spots on their stuffed animal, their critter, whatever their thing is, okay? Because kids love helping with pain relief and feeling better. What they don't know that they're doing is when they're feeling sad and they're tapping on the bear and talking about their sadness, okay, they're actually releasing it from their little bodies. Now, why is that so cool and why do I adore that? Because think about it, people. If every time your parents did something that was painful, hard, there she is, okay, difficult, whatever, if you could release that emotion right away, oh my gosh, how different you would be today. All right, so I hope you've been sharing. I hope you've been bringing some people on. Let's see who else we got here. I got Deb, I got Stephanie, I got Maria, Caroline, Diane, Cindy. I don't know why I'm not seeing any comments. I'm not seeing any comments. I'm not seeing any hearts. Is anybody shooting me hearts? Is anybody? Okay, well, for some reason, I'm not seeing them. There, I just saw Scott's. Okay, see him floating up. Oh, I might not have seen him because I didn't have the camera turned enough. Okay, so we're going to talk about rant tapping. We're going to talk about pain. We're going to talk about sickness. Okay, like I said, I bet some of you just tune in to see what craziness comes in out of my mouth. Let's see, I also want to tell you something else. You see these? I always forget which way to turn. These were actually my mother's wedding rings. And I had them made into earrings. And my mom is with me like all the time. Yes, she's crossed over. Yes, you might think that's nutty. Maybe not. She's with me all the time. She absolutely adores this work that I do. I do keep telling her, send people with money. Okay, because some of you know that I will always help, okay? And so that's just kind of a funny thing between me and Mom and Jesus, okay? Because my Mom and Jesus love me helping everybody. Okay, so I just want to tell you also, I've had a bunch of people follow me. Feel free to friend request me. I got plenty of slots, okay? And to get you also over to my other page, which is TAPNGRL, Tapping Into You. And just so you know, TAPNGRL is spelled TAPNGRL. Listen to this. You'll hear it. There's no I in TAPNGRL. Isn't that brilliant? Like there's no I in team? Okay. Oh, I just looked at the clock. It's 4:44. Now, just so you know, I woke up this morning at 4:44. Today, like I said, we're going to be doing rant tapping. We're going to be talking about pain and sickness, how we tap, how we follow that in the body. Okay. Now, I hope you guys have all shared this to a friend's timeline or a group that you know. Let's get some more people on here because this is really good stuff. Because one of the things that I love about tapping is that it helps you feel so empowered about your own life experience. Just so you know, if you're just tuning in, I am TAPNGRL, Colette Leosi, and this is Tappin' Honey. This is what I started out telling you about the tapping. So when I started tapping and I knew about this whole tappy bear thing, and what happened was one day I had a memory come up. It was really big, and I was really emoting, and I went and got a teddy bear that I had purchased earlier. And I actually, just like you can with little kids, I started tapping on the bear, talking all about what was going on with me, and it was just so soothing and so fun and so amazing. And I can still remember me sitting and crying in the chair. I was probably 52 or something like that, just a baby. So let me tell you what tapping is. Tapping is modern day technology for releasing stress and anxiety from the body and the mind. We think a thought, chemicals cascade into the body. When we're tapping and we're focusing in on that negative story, that negative experience, we are actually stopping the chemical dump. Okay, so one of the things a lot of people ask is about the wording, and I've just got to tell you, okay, the words are not as important as focusing in on the feeling. Okay, so we want to focus in on the feeling. All right, so I want to also remind you, tapping is not a belief system. All right, so people will say to me, oh, the tapping won't work for me because I don't believe it. Well, you don't have to believe it. I can bypass that with you as we're working on whatever. So just know that it is not a belief system, and that we can absolutely address thoughts, ideas, and feelings and all that good stuff, okay? Tapping is to clear the blocks, okay? In other words, tapping clears the proof of my belief, okay? So let's say I have this belief that as I get older, I'll have more pain in the body, okay? Well, where did I get that belief, okay? Did my dad get sick? Did my mom get sick? I tap with people who, when they turn 60, thinks life is over. I don't know why 70-year-olds don't think so. 50-year-olds not even so much, but I mean 60, it's like, whoa, they show up for me and go, oh my God, I'm gonna be 60 and life is terrible and da-da-da, okay, all right. So maybe you have this belief that as I get older, you know, there's more pain in the body, and that's how you would tap that, you know, even though I'm afraid as I get older that my body will fall apart, okay? Why do I tell you that? Because tapping really is about telling the truth. There's two things I want you to remember about tapping, okay? One is you want to try it on everything, okay? Seriously, okay? I get ready to go into conversations that don't feel good. I tap. I have tapped for neighbors. I have tapped for neighbors barking dogs. I have tapped for just everything. Inanimate objects, okay? Just gonna leave it there, all right? The second thing, be persistent, please, okay? Even 10 minutes a day on tapping, if you've got anxiety, frustration, fear, okay? You can start out tapping generally, okay? And then you will start to have the emotional memory show up, okay? So I don't know why I'm not seeing comments. Okay.
Somebody's asking if they can tap on your
Good morning. Okay, here I go. Wait a minute. Good evening, wherever you are. Sorry. Hang on. All right. Somebody wants to know if they can tap on their dog. You can tap for your dog. Yes, you can tap on your dog. The meridians are different. I don't know where they are, but you can tap for your dog. You can tap for your window that won't close. You can tap for your mother. You can tap for your job. You can tap for absolutely everything. There is absolutely nothing that you cannot use the tapping for. I'm just going to tell you that. And the biggest hiccup that we have is that we just forget to plug it in. Okay, we just forget. Got to get used to it. Okay, when we're tapping, two things. What? The words. The words. People will say to me all the time, Colette, I don't know the words like you do, and and I go, look, it's really not about the words. It's about the feeling. But you can remember this about the words. The words are about, okay, focusing in on what you're focusing on. Okay, so it's emotional freedom technique. I want to focus in on an emotion and I want to aim it at something. So maybe I'm feeling this anger in my upper chest. Maybe I'm feeling this fear in my shoulders. Maybe I'm, okay, you get it? All right. So the words are really for focus, and the more specific you can be, the better. Okay. Also the negative. A lot of people, especially with law of attraction and them saying, never let those crappy words come out of your mouth. I'm going to tell you, you're thinking them anyway, you're living them, okay? So what I want you to do, all right, is I want you to just understand that when we're tapping and we're remembering that negative emotion, that negative emotional experience, okay, what we're really doing, okay, is getting it out of the body. Y'all heard me talk last week about the difference between suppressing and expressing, okay? So you might say, law of attraction says, oh, never say those words. And I'm saying, well, you're thinking them and living them all day long, right? Because if you're wanting money and you're not getting the money, you got a belief that goes on, okay, that says, ooh, money, scary, bad, all, you know, grows on trees. I don't have trees in my yard, whatever it is, crappy stuff that you were taught. So what we're really doing when we're doing the tapping, okay, think of it this way. We're really validating our own feelings. So let's say that, you know, you have a memory come up of when you were 4, you were 5, and you were really angry, okay? All we're doing is going back to that memory and giving ourselves an opportunity to express how we felt about it. It felt so powerless. It was scary. It was hopeless, because chances are from that experience, you're still attracting experience. Listen to this. That's hopeless. That's helpless. That's frightening. Okay. So like if I was raised in a home where my father was angry, okay, all right, and I fear anger, well, self-fulfilling prophecy says I'm going to get a match to what I'm feeling. That's law of attraction. That's self-fulfilling prophecy, okay? Now, it might not be that I anger. It might be that I fear anger. It might be that I'm so used to anger that because of the way the brain works, and I have neural pathways of thought about anger, about fearing anger, okay? If I haven't released anger in a while, and if you watch the movie What the Bleep, you'll see how this works, okay? Where my brain basically needs these neurochemicals and all these other things, and my brain's like, feed me, okay? So now, below the level of conscious, I don't even realize I've created an argument at work with my husband, with a neighbor, somewhere, so that I can let the top off that anger. Those idiots, look what they did, okay, right? And I get to release some of that, okay? Think of yourself like a pressure cooker, okay? I want to remind you of this, okay? Having said that, if you tap along with me, you must take responsibility for your own emotional well-being, right? I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. I teach from my own life experience, and what I want you to understand is when you start tapping, you got to be there for you. Okay, some of you have even heard me say, if you start sobbing, you get to sob one-handed, because the other hand is for tapping, because when you are emoting, you are right there. You got the brain dumping chemicals in your body like you can't believe, and you are interrupting that process just by tapping while you're feeling and doing that. That's why if you're in traffic and somebody almost hits you or something like that, you could just start tapping the collarbone. Bring that down and all that good stuff, okay? All right, so I'm just kind of looking through the thread. I started this meditation at 4:44. Yeah, that was so fun. Okay, now, keep going, just looking through here. Yeah, remember that with the tapping, I'm looking at Deb's where she says, that's a good one, just piece together something I feel now with an experience when I was, probably said younger. That's what tapping does, okay? When I start tapping about the pain in my foot, okay, and my brain brings up the memory of 4th grade and the teacher, and I stood up to give the answer and it was wrong, okay, and I was terrified, okay, that's my isness, as I say, my all that is, my higher self, my whatever, okay, bringing me the match to that feeling so I can tap out that story, okay? So you're doing the tapping, now a story comes up, go back and tell the story. And what you want to do as you're telling the story is with each emotional crescendo. Maybe you remember when the teacher looked at you, or you could hear when they laughed, okay? Oh, they're laughing, they're laughing. When you get that emotional crescendo, you tap a few rounds just feeling it, allowing yourself to feel it, be okay with it, okay? And that's how you're actually stopping that chemical dump, okay? I also want to remind you guys, I absolutely do coach one-on-one and in group, okay? I adore coaching. I love teaching people about how to think better, about how the tapping comes in and how law of attraction works with that, okay? So I want you to understand that one of the really brilliant things that I heard said a while ago, and I've seen this, some of you talking about this on other threads, is that monkey mind, right? Okay, now you can imagine with the way I talk and the way I act, this is a very busy place up here, okay? It's busy. Now, I remember one day listening to an Abe video. It was so fun because the guy was talking about his monkey mind, and Abraham said, now listen to this is so good, okay? Abraham said, because he said, I want to shut down my monkey mind, and she said, we don't want to shut down your monkey mind. We want to retrain it, okay? So what do I do with a lot of people? I'm training you how to think, okay? Because probably the way you were trained to think is not all that conducive to getting you the life experience that you actually want. You know, so many of us were taught that, you know, oh, if somebody's feeling bad, it's my job to help them feel better. Well, okay, and that I can't feel good till they feel better? Well, that's just totally renders me powerless, okay? I see you guys now saying hello to each other. Thank you so much. Listen, it's all I can do to do this and take care of honey. All right, so you keep sharing, you keep hearting me. If you've got a question I haven't answered or something, I'll probably come back to it later, okay? So don't worry about all that. Plus, you can always send me a private message if you want to work with me, if you want to create a group, okay? All right, all kinds of cool stuff. I love understanding the wacky ways that we're getting in our life experience what we're getting, okay? Like the sabotage we create. Like, let's say that I'm getting sick, okay? Well, what's your belief system? Are there 3 times a year I get sick? When I get sick, is it the only time I can get rest? Now, these are all below the level of conscious, okay? Maybe the only time everybody backs the hell off of me, okay, is when I'm sick. All right, maybe it's an excuse to take a rest, like I said, okay? Now, we don't need excuses for all that. What if we can take a rest and we don't have to get sick to say, nope, not going to work for me, okay? All right? So what we do, again, is we usually find the stories that are in there for why we keep creating what we're creating, okay? Not been seeing the other sessions. Well, go find them, Anne, on my timeline or Consciousness Creators. Thank you for sharing, too. All right, so I want you to also know that these stories, okay, when these stories come up, when you have emotional memory of a story, that is not for fault and blame, okay? It is for information and awareness. In other words, if every time, and I told you this before, if every time I turn the corner, I run my elbow into the corner, okay, until I figure out I'm hitting my elbow on the corner and I'm not clear on the corner, I can't change it, okay? So until I know that I feel powerless because of their choices and decisions, I'm really not empowered to change that, okay? Do you get what I'm saying? All right? So information and awareness, I absolutely preach that all the time, all right? So I want you to also remember this, that if I tap and it feels worse, don't freak out. Okay, it just means you need to do more tapping, because if you're tapping and it goes, let's say you're at a 7 and it actually goes up, that's really a good thing. It means we're on target, okay? Because the more elevated, the more engaged I get my brain in this, and now my brain's like, okay? And I tap, the more I'm stopping that chemical dump. Okay, all right. If it goes down, that's good too. If it doesn't change, okay, that's the only thing that is not good here. All right, and really not good is relative. Because even in, thanks, Rochelle. I love you, Rochelle. Is that if it's staying the same, it means that we're not on target. Okay, it just means there's something here that I'm not telling the truth about. Right. Okay, all right. So, what'd you just say?
Rachel,
It's Rochelle.
I know.
Okay. Okay, really? Are we gonna have to kick him out of the room for the rest of these things? Because y'all are probably going, really? Are you gonna? God, I'm telling you. All right. So, if you are emoting, you want to just keep tapping. All right. Remember, it's about tuning in on a feeling. So I really want you to know that, because I don't want you freaking out if it gets worse. Okay. If you go, oh no, I feel worse or whatever. I saw one laugh symbol. One person thought that little exchange between us was funny. The rest of them are going, would you two tap that out? Okay. See, I've told people for years, I come from nobody will ever be the boss of me again. And he comes from, well, nobody's ever been the boss of me. Okay. So you might imagine we butt heads. And when you understand those relationships in your life are always a reflector back to you, okay, about your own garbage, well, he needs to tap that out, doesn't he? Not me. Okay. All right. All right. So I also want to remind you that if you have a story that's too big, don't go it on your own. Okay. Please don't go it on your own. Yeah, this is not about suffering. This is not about suffering my way through it. Now, a lot of us were taught to suffer. Okay. Not a good plan. Okay. Listen, I tell people, and if this offends anybody, sorry, but you know me, I just say it. I was born and raised Catholic. I tell people I am a recovering Catholic. I am still tapping out guilt. I think multi-generational guilt, right? Okay. So I want to give you a few reminders about some other things. And one is, we heard Tony talk about this before, and it's called the reticular activating system. And it is a part of my brain that always makes me right. So if I think people are mean, guess what? The part of my brain that makes me right is going to have me seeing the people that are mean. Okay. So what I tell people is, don't you want to be right about what you want to be right about? Okay. I mean, let's think about if I get what I expect, I want to start expecting what I want. Okay. Because I do get what I expect. So when that guy shows up and he's a nasty cuss within your face, okay, guess who brought him here? That'd be me. Don't you hate when that happens? Okay. All right. So the other thing is, I create 100% of my responsibility. If you haven't wrapped yourself around that yet, I'm just going to tell you, you're kind of leaving yourself a little disempowered, because if I'm not creating my reality and someone else is, okay, that means I'm like out of control. I got no control over it, okay? But when I accept 100% responsibility for my own life experience, it now means I'm empowered to change it. Got it? Okay, did you hear that? There's so many juicy good things here. I'm telling you that some of you are going to hear, some of you will hear later, some of you will hear from someone else, and then you'll think you heard it there. No, I'm just playing with you. Okay, all right. So, all right, so yes, and when we're doing the tapping, thank you, Rochelle, what we also want to do is, at the end of it, I always tell you guys, we want to be reaching for a better thought. We want to be putting in more positive stuff, okay? The other thing I want to remind you is law of attraction. This is an inclusion-based universe, okay? In other words, nobody else is doing anything to you. That's right. Nobody else is doing it. They're actually showing up in response to your call, is the way I tell you guys that. In other words, if somebody shows up angry, I'm the one who called them in, okay? And this is why I won't go this far down the rabbit hole, but forgiveness and all that, that's just something we think we need to do in human form. There's really nothing and no one to forgive, but it kind of helps us feel a little better when we go, I forgive me, I forgive you, I forgive me, I forgive you, okay? There's times years ago where I used to just set a timer for 20 minutes. I forgive me. I forgive me. And then up would pop the stories, and I'm like, oh my goodness gravy. Better forgive myself for that one. All right. The other thing is that I also, because like I said, I teach people how to think. We want to think in alignment with what we want. I mean, come on, doesn't that make sense? Okay. Now listen, at the tender young age of 60, okay, I am still learning how to think. Okay. And while my husband doesn't appreciate my coaching, we're getting so much better at this, at helping each other remember, okay, is that really what you want to think about that? Okay. I mean, how can I have a more empowering thought? How can I flip that thought? Okay. You were raised Catholic too. Yeah. I'm telling you what, man. When you remember my story about the mouse and the cherry blossoms, 5 generations, look at how many generations we've been learning guilt. Look at how many generations we've been learning. Now you have the power to change this with your mind and your thought. And we are the generation that the most is coming in and changing all of this stuff, okay? Everybody on here, just know what I'm saying. Your legacy is you are the one stopping the pattern. Oh my God, that just filled me up so big. I can hardly stand it. All right, I felt that when I said that. We are the ones changing the pattern. We are the world. You know, I love to sing even though I can't sing. All right. I also want to tell you this and give you some more relief, because my whole thing is about giving relief. Like I said yesterday on my live, if you're not having fun doing this stuff, changing your thoughts and all that, it just needs a little tweaking. All right? Okay? So remember this. Masters think like beginners. Okay? In other words, you don't have to keep, you know, I was laughing one day with a friend, because we were laughing about how we do affirmations, and we start the affirmation and then we add on this and then we add, and before we know it, we got an affirmation this long that we think covers everything, and then of course what happens is we don't do it at all. Keep it simple, okay? I love me. I love me. I want to love me. I want to learn to love me. Loving me means I have more love to give. I want to love me. I mean, come on, this is a really good idea, you guys. All right, so sharing again, I'm just putting in a plug for share again. Go ahead and share. Share to a friend, share to a page, share. Okay, I don't know why this thing keeps stopping. All right, let's see. Okay, I think I heard Sheb say this, and this is again another knowing. Understand that so much of this was just all downloaded into me over years, okay? And I have so many more analogies about how we do stuff and all that, and I just love the way that I get this stuff, okay? Because I call me the break it down girl. I break down language, just so you know. Tony Doyle, when he was telling the 3, 4, and 5D, that's something I never wrapped myself around, and now I get it. It's just like, I remember when I started hearing words like alignment and 3, 4, 5D, and you know, all kinds of stuff. Alignment, okay, break it down. Alignment means feeling good. That's it. Okay, now alignment really means what am I lined up with, but we want to do alignment as feeling good, because when I'm feeling good, I'm lined up with inner being. To the mountain degree that I feel bad is how far away I am from inner being. Okay, some of you are like this far, right, honey? Okay, so she knows. I'm telling you. All right, so reminder, law of attraction is a very fair friend. Okay, that crap you're getting is not somebody else's, it's yours. I used to tell people, because people would ask me like, oh my gosh, how would I get that car wreck? And I go, look, all right, you can't share it out of creative consciousness page. Okay, well, I don't know why that is. Gosh, I hope I don't have it on some kind of setting. I'll check it afterwards, but okay. Will it share? Somebody let me know if you were able to share. Okay, Scott says he could share. Okay, all right. Law of attraction is a very fair friend. I get a match to me, okay? So, like I said, they were asking me about how do I get that car wreck, okay? Stop plugging it in so specifically. Here's the bottom line. Crap vibrates at crap, okay? Just don't make it any more complicated than that, okay? Seriously, there are a lot of people out there using a lot of big words, and we just do not need big words. Remember, masters think like beginners. Make your language simple, okay? All right, the other one is, and this is a biggie, and hear me. Everybody's talking about their purpose, okay? I was given this a little while back, and I want you to know that your purpose, ready? Here we go. I'm going to tell you. It's the big secret, okay? Your purpose is to feel on purpose. What? That's it? That's it. And then your purpose, what we call purpose here, will show up as a match to you. You'll know. Quit worrying about it. Your job's to feel good on purpose. Right now, what better feeling thought can you have? Okay? What more fun can you have than watching me and honey You see what I'm saying? None. The answer to that's none. All right, so you just want to remember that your purpose really is to feel on purpose, to feel good on purpose. Why? Because if I get a match to me, okay, and I do, okay, don't I want to match to feeling good? Okay, duh, okay, because that's how I get more feeling good stuff, okay? Now, if you're walking around doing that whole sugar on poop thing of I feel good, I feel good, I feel good, I feel good, and no, you are not, you're really mad at that nasty B-double-I that just, oh, I had this thing happen in the parking lot the other day. I won't tell you the story, but I was like, oh my God, did she really just do that? I was snitty-fied for a couple minutes, all right, and then I was like, okay, why would I bring in that CF? Cluster, and you know the word, okay? I'm not F-bombing on here. I might say other things, but I'm not going to F-bomb because some people might have their kids on here. All right, the other thing I want you to remember with tapping, the more specific, the better, okay? What does that mean? Some people, okay, think that I can go, even though I have this anxiety, and just keep doing anxiety generally. Duh. No, I had a guy one day, I found him on a page, and I was like, ooh, dude, you need to be tapping. And he was like, I've tapped till I'm a bloody mess. And I'm like, well, first of all, don't ever do that again. And secondly, tell me about your tapping. And it's like anxiety. I'm like, no, we need to plug in the story. Even though I have this anxiety about my report at work, even though I have this anxiety about this report at work and I can feel it in my neck, okay? You want to get specific, okay? Listen, you know, some of you have heard me say, don't ever tell that crappy story again without tapping, right? Okay? And what people do is when you're telling those stories, ooh, there's so much color and there's cussing in it and you're going off and I can't believe they did, and you're just going, right? And then I tell you when you're telling that story, ooh, start tapping, all of a sudden people go, oh, that's okay, it's not important. And I'm like, whoa. Simmer down. Yes, it was. And if I need to start for you, I will. I had a lady here a few weeks ago who just would not get into the rant tapping, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. And because there were two of us in the room and one on video, and she just couldn't do it. And I see her eyes tear up, but she wouldn't do it. I said, okay, now listen to me. You need to close your eyes. I'm going to get started because I'm really good at rant tapping. And I'm going to get you started. And I'm F-bombing. I'm doing all this stuff that I'm doing. Tears are coming down her face. She ended up doing awesome, amazing rant tapping. I just found out from her last week. Listen to this. For months and months and months, she had toe pain and hip pain. And she says, oh, by the way, all my toe and hip pain is gone. I'm like, you think you might have told me that? That's kind of big. All right? All right, so what is rant tapping? Okay, yeah, that only took me 32 minutes to get to. All right, so rant tapping is sometimes we've got so much garbage going on, okay? And that, you know, and some of you, I'm just going to tell you, you're trying to do that nicey thing. Tapping is not for the nicey. Tapping is for that crap you really think and feel, okay? All right, so now I'm going to tell you what the lady did at the store the other day. So I'm backing out. I'm getting ready to pull down the aisle. There's somebody sitting there waiting for the parking spot, and the lady behind her obviously couldn't be bothered with waiting, so she came around, which means now I'm facing two cars coming down the grocery parking aisle, right? She's looking at me like I'm nuts because I start to back up, and I thought, well, I'll just go by her on the wrong side since she's doing this. You should have seen her look at me, to where I ended up laughing my ass off on the way home going, how did you even bring that in? Okay, let me tell you something. When you can laugh about this stuff you're getting, you release resistance immediately. Okay, all right? Tapping is great, but if you can start laughing at yourself and the things people are doing, I'm telling you what, you would release resistance like boom, all right? So rant tapping. Now, even though I'm not going to F-bomb on here and everything else, if this was a private group I was doing, I would, okay? And I always warn people in first in case they, yeah, Rochelle knows about rant tapping, that some people, I always warn them because we really throw those people under the bus. So what I always suggest is this. You want to set a timer. Okay, set it for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, okay? And you might go, gee, that's a long time. And I go, well, you bitched at your friend. Oops, okay, there, see? You complained to your friend for 15 minutes about it. Believe me, you got 15 minutes in you, all right? And how do I know this? When we moved to where we are here now, in this place that we absolutely adore, we say all the time it's our resort home. We're like on vacation, right? Okay, that I had a neighbor and I had issues with the neighbor. I'm a wonderful neighbor. I do wonderful things for my neighbor. I'm kind, I'm considerate, all this. Well, we had an issue with her. Okay. And even when we moved here, I found myself talking about it and her really getting under my skin. 3 different days. Some of you know I go walk like 4 miles a day when the weather's conducive. Otherwise, I do an hour on elliptical, or I do an hour on treadmill, or I dance or step or whatever. Not bad for 60, huh? Been doing it for 30 years. 3 different days. Half of my walk, I rant tapped, and I throw that little girl under the bus. How dare you? I am such an amazing neighbor. I can't believe you didn't appreciate me. That really sucked. How dare you make those choices you made? I can't even believe how many times I saved you, all the things I did for you, and you don't even appreciate it. Now, the reason we're doing that is because you got a bunch of stuff in there, okay? All right, so set that timer and just start having at it. Pretend you've got the most trusted person ever in front of you, okay? Do it in front of the mirror. Ooh, do it in front of the mirror. Do it in front of the mirror. In front of the mirror. So good, okay? All right, but you really want to let them have it. You want to say every snarky, yucky thing you ever thought, okay? Because you really want to get it out of your body, okay? All right? Don't worry, you're not hurting anybody when you're doing the now, if you bloody yourself up because you're so upset ranting, that's not the point, okay? You want to be tapping lightly. You want to allow yourself to express and do that. I had a couple neighbors with barking dogs. I don't appreciate barking dogs, and I even did a couple rant taps for that, and it was like all of a sudden the dogs got quiet. Now, I'll just tell you. Yes, rant tapping we can even use for the pain thing. If you've had long time pain, chances are you have a lot of crappy thoughts in there about it, okay? So you really want to be, oh, this pain, I've had it forever, I can't stand it, when will this stop? You can use rant tapping for anything, a person, an illness, a sickness, your work, okay? All right? But because when you're doing that, then it's not suppressed, and you don't end up biting somebody's head off like a chocolate bunny eating the ears. You get what I'm saying? Okay? Because what happens is somebody does something, you go, That's why you want to rant tap. You will not feel worse afterwards. You will feel better. Listen to me. Rant tapping will feel like you've been having an awesome shower under a waterfall. It will just like take all that garbage away, okay? Now, you can finish up if you're crying or you're so mad you're crying. You can finish up by going, I'm so amazing. I did this for me. I love me so much that I got this garbage out of my body. This is amazing. Maybe this is the last time that I have that much emotion about that experience. I just want to let it go. Do some let it go tapping, some I am enough. Bring yourself right back up vibrationally. I'm telling you, it's awesome, all right? So set that timer. Set that timer for that rant tap, okay? All right, so I already told you about the neighbors, okay? After rant, bringing it up. Listen, I'm pretty organized here today, okay? I got my notes here, and I want you to know that you're really special, because this is only the second time I've ever done that. First time I taught tapping, and then since then, it's always just been whatever comes up, what comes out of my mouth. Because when I'm doing it in group, we are following the stuff that comes up. You see? Okay, so every class I teach is as different as the people that attend or the stories they bring forward. That's why I have the greatest work in the world. Okay, so let's talk about, now that you got an idea about rant tapping, in fact, she might be on here. I'm not going to mention names, but I did have somebody ask me about it and said, well, what do you do if it's about it, if it's the other person or whatever? And I said, just have at it. Okay, and I actually got a message in a pretty short amount of time that said, oh my God, and I'm like, yeah, what happened? And they went, the person basically just shut up. The person is always negative, always talking, and because she was rant tapping, all of a sudden, that other person got quiet, and I was like, oh my God, I just love this. I'm telling you, when you do the tapping, you change vibrationally, you change what comes to you, what's going on around you, all that stuff. Good, Tanya, no more suppressing feelings. Yeah, all right, so, yeah, Jenny, get tapping. All right, so let's talk about pain and sickness. First of all, when we're tapping about pain, okay, what we want to do is we can start out with where it is in the body. Pain is great GPS, emotional garbage that's buried. Why? I don't have my book. Some of you know the Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life, okay? In that book, There's another one she has, Heal Your Body. Okay. And you can even find it online where it does the correlation between the physical manifestation and the crappy thought. Okay. Or the part in the body. Okay. Like if I, have allergies, okay, that's usually an irritation to someone close. It can usually mean me. I'm denying my own power. But if I have sinus stuff, that's actually like inner tears never expressed. If I have trouble with my shoulder, there's usually a burden. Maybe I'm thinking about life as a burden. Maybe I'm thinking about maybe it feels like somebody's sitting on there. If it's in my neck, it lets me know other things. So the body is really great GPS for finding some of your emotional stuff. Okay. Lower back. Yeah. The back tells me all kinds of things. Like if it's in the back, maybe it's back there so I don't have to see it. Okay. Upper back is support. Middle back is guilt. Lower back is lack. A lot of times people, when they're worried about money, the lower back bothers them. You know, they'll say, oh, my lower back. And I go, oh, yeah, you've been worried about money. And they think I'm like a magician. I love that, okay, because then I sound really brilliant. Okay, another thing about pain. When you look in the Louise Hay book about pain, pain is punishment for the guilt that I feel. Okay, so you could ask yourself, okay, because remember, a lot of this with tapping is about like being your own detective. Okay, why am I feeling guilty? What punishment would I be giving myself as pain, okay, in the body? Okay, so if it's in the middle of the back, because I get middle back stuff and I know that's guilt. Okay, and I even see it multi-generationally. I've even seen it where it like connects into the spine and like tendrils. Okay, so every time I feel a little sensation in my back now and it feels kind of fuzzy or blurry, I'm like, ooh, I'm letting that go. Okay, see, that's a mindset thing. Tony will tell you, Sheb will tell you, you know, anybody, Allie will tell you, that is a mindset thing. When I feel that, instead of going, uh-oh, what's wrong? Okay, because I used to do that a lot, okay, which means I only make it worse, that now I go, oh, look, I'm getting better. Okay, and I'm just going to throw this in again because a lot of people don't know this. If you're having pain, go look up magnesium. Okay, magnesium, I started taking magnesium and it helps me sleep at night. It helps my body repair from all the working out that I do. I'm having less muscle cramping, all kinds of stuff, because I had tapped a whodunit. And just so you know, I thought, come on, there has to be something else going on here. And remember what I say about tapping, it's not always I tap and release the pain, it's I tap and maybe, okay, maybe now I'm at the grocery store and find the perfect doctor. Maybe now I'm standing in the aisle, I'm looking at a bottle of vitamin stuff and it says, oh, it relieves pain in the muscles. And I go, oh, really? Magnesium? That's cool. I'll look it up. You see, you listen, in my world, and it's a very exciting world, I get so much, when Allie was talking about signs and Viv was talking about, I get so much proof so fast. All right. All right, I do. I mean, I ask about something and bam, I get it. All right. Suffering. If you were raised, indoctrinated into traditional religiosity, chances are you learned that suffering's a good thing. All right. Now, I remember when I had the awareness, can I really suffer enough for anybody else to not suffer? But as a good Catholic, I was told offer it up all the time. I swear that's what I heard my whole childhood. I didn't even know what it meant, but like I knew I was being guilty, bad, and wrong because I must have done something not offering it up if I'm feeling this pain. You know, my mom called everything growing pains, and then she would say, offer it up. So just so you know, she's laughing. She's here with us. She hears the wackiness in it now, okay? What if you learned some crappy concept like love is painful? What if you keep creating pain in the body trying to feel love? Okay, did you feel that? I just felt that right behind my eyes, okay? That I will never forget. Chrissy, yeah, you got on here. I will never forget sitting up in the bed because my husband and I used to tap in the bed in the morning. We'd have our coffee and we'd sit there, listen to some stuff, and then do some tapping. And I never will forget the day I went, oh my God, love is painful. Okay, now how did I learn that? When people beat the crap out of us as little kids, they say things to us like, this hurts me more than it hurts you. Or they're beating the crap out of you, or they're punishing you and they're saying, I love you. And so maybe you learned some amazing crappy manifestation that love is painful, and you keep creating pain in the body to prove that you're lovable. Just play with these ideas, you guys. I'm telling you, they're pure freaking gold. I should charge y'all $1,000. Okay.
Alex, so what about being sick of
Yeah, I hear. I'm getting there. All right, so simmer down, Allie. Okay. Let's talk about sickness then real fast. When you start getting sick, the last 4 times I started to get sick, all right, the last 4 times, I actually took myself back to the bedroom, sat in the rocker. I set the timer. I want to know how long I'm tapping just because I'm anal retentive, and I love that, okay? I love that about me, all right? I'm really good about it, okay? So I went back and I started tapping. You could start out with, even though I feel like I'm getting sick and I don't have time for this, I love and accept myself. And even though I feel like I'm getting sick and I don't have time for this, I love and accept myself. Another manifestation of sickness. Maybe, like I told you in the beginning, maybe the only time you get to rest is when you get sick. There was a really cool story about this lady who, when she got sick, she had no idea how and why she created that. Turns out, once enough tapping happened and the emotional memory came up, guess what her mother's profession was? Nurse. Guess when she got attention? When she was sick. Otherwise, everybody else got the attention. You see that? Okay. I was talking with somebody the other day who had developed a rash, kind of a hives thing. And I said, ooh, that's like looking for attention in childish ways. Well, they were all bummed out because they had done a bunch of tapping. And I said, stop that. All that means is you've taken enough garbage off the top to now start to see these deeper levels, okay? Listen, that's another mind hack. Just always assume it's working. Always assume you're getting relief. Always assume that you're connecting more to you, okay? Just do it. Write it down. Put it on the mirror. By the way, Pamela, I think it was Pamela, took my dry erase marker idea on the mirrors and ran with it. Drew a bunch of hearts, had it on the mirror, took a picture, and posted it for you guys. Okay, all right. Now, I started to tell you this last week, and I'm going to tell you this again. Tapping, when I get sick, okay, this is not about yesterday, all right? This is about old stuff, okay? So I tell you that those old emotional memories, think of it as your colon, okay? You're going to love this, all right? Think of it as your colon. Okay, because if we have a seed or something that gets trapped in the side of our colon, that's how we get diverticulitis. And from what I understand, it's pretty crappy. Sorry, no pun was intended there, but you got one. And it can be really painful. Okay, all right. So please understand that if you're getting sick now, if you have pain now, it's not about yesterday. It may not even be about last week. It's probably from before you were 7 years old. What? Okay, it probably is from them, but maybe if the first one you can remember is 20, that's where you start, okay? Good. See, look, just in the learning, you guys are burping. I hope you started tapping. I forgot to tell you that. Just keep tapping while you're listening. All right. Yep, only positive attention from the mother when I was sick. Yep, got it. I understand. Carried that into the marriage. Brilliant, Diane. But you see, here's the thing that I love about this. This is why I say information and awareness. If you were not aware of that, you couldn't change it. All right? All right. So there's a whole nother thing in tapping called chasing the pain. Chasing the pain is where maybe it starts in my shoulder. Okay? Maybe I have a 10 of pain in my shoulder. Okay? And it's sharp. Okay? And maybe now it's moved to my neck. Well, then all I want to do is direct the tapping at my neck, okay? And I want to describe it, and I want to keep going. Maybe now I feel it in the middle of my back, okay? I might eventually get a story of when I was bullied, when I was hurt, when my boss was mean, okay? All kinds of stuff comes up. What happens when you work with me is I help you find those stories pretty fast, all right? So what if you learned another crappy concept? Hard work, okay? It is, everything we want here is not about working hard, but we were all told that hard work is the way. So what if, oh, this is so good, whether you're sick, whether you're having pain, what if you made even letting go of your pain and suffering hard work because you're still trying to work hard to get all the accolades and the praise? You get what I'm saying? All right? Okay? So maybe you have a painful relationship. You know, I had a family member ask me years ago, because there's a family member I don't communicate with, said, oh, can't you just know it's them and be okay? And I said, well, the measure of my growth is not, can I keep standing in the eye of the hurricane and go, oh, okay, I'm here and I'm invincible. Maybe sometimes the measure of our growth is, would you stop standing in the eye of the hurricane? Okay, so why would I keep subjecting myself to someone else's verbal abuse, blame, all that junk that's going on when I don't create their reality? Okay, all right. I was working with a lady a while back who we were tapping, and she had quite a bit of physical pain from a really horrifying experience. And I asked her after we tapped for a while and all that stuff, I said, well, what have you been doing with that pain? And she says, I've been sending it to Jesus. And I said, well, honey, he don't want that shit either. Now, if I offended anybody, you just need to simmer down, okay? Because let me tell you, Jesus works with me, and he's hilarious, okay? And my point to her was, okay, is that you want to clear that stuff in you. And just so you know, we all laughed really hard when I said that, okay? Because that's pretty hilarious, all right? The other thing I want to tell you about Jesus that came to me some time ago is that when Jesus said, turn the other cheek, he did not mean go from here to here. He meant, watch this. He meant walk the hell away. Let them see your butt cheek. Get out of town. You do not need to take that abuse, okay? So when Jesus said turn the other cheek, that's the way he showed it to me. He meant walk the hell away, all right? All right, so, okay, let's see. Oh, that was her. That was funny. Okay. All right. So let's tap a little bit on pain and sickness. What I want you to do. Yes, God goes, yeah, you talk so much. But see, here's the thing. If you didn't hear all this other stuff, it wouldn't have made tapping to release the pain and the suffering and the sickness quite as simple. Okay. If you didn't hear me when we started here, this is Tapping Honey. Okay, when you're tapping with children or yourself, if it's a childhood issue that's really big, you can even, believe it or not, because energy is energy, right? You can even tap the spots on your teddy bear, and I have 2 life-size teddy bears. Okay, this is Tapping Honey. The other one downstairs, that's Tapping Buddy. This Saturday, I hope to be teaching a class with moms and kids, and that's when I take my honey. All right. So, what I want you to do, let's see, wait a minute, where'd it go? Oh, I want to tell you one more thing I did, because you just won't believe this. Let's say you hurt yourself, okay? When you hurt yourself, you want to start tapping immediately. Why? Okay, this is kind of gross, but just hang with me a minute. When we moved here, I had frozen the stuff and brought it home and, you know, brought it to the new place and all that. I was trying to separate hamburger patties. Okay, well, you're not supposed to do that with a knife or a meat fork, right? Duh, you'd think at like 50 I already knew that, but for whatever reason I didn't. I basically put that big meat fork right through my finger, okay? Sorry to gross you out, all right? The thing that stopped it was my fingernail. Now here I was walking around my kitchen going, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Oh my God, that's so gross, so gross. I did that for about 7 or 8 minutes, and I looked down at my finger, and I am not lying to you when I tell you, and yes, it was the middle finger. No hole, no blood, no bruise, no nothing. Like it never even happened. I'm not lying to you when I tell you that. So if you got a little one, if you yourself fall, okay, all kinds of cool stuff. I had a lady fall in the driveway across the street, and basically I ran across the street. She's laying on the pavement on her back, and I said, can I touch you? And she's like, what? And I started tapping on her when she said yes, and she found me weeks later, and she said, I had no pain that night. I had no swelling the next day. I mean, she was just like amazed, okay, all right? So that's what I'm telling you. If you get hurt, okay, if you see someone get hurt, ask them if you can, that is driving finger. You want to ask somebody first. Don't just reach in and start tapping on people, okay, all right, because you might get yourself in trouble. All right, so remember, when we're tapping, we want to rate, we want to be as specific as possible, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to hone in on a symptom that you've got of being sick. What is the worst symptom? Is it the cough? Is it the congestion? Is it the headache? Is it the whatever, okay? If you have pain, I want you to focus in on the pain in your body, okay? I want you to note where it is. I want you to get your 1 to 10 rating, okay? You can surrogate tap for somebody else if you don't have any pain right now, and the way you do that is you just get them in mind, okay? And so, and even if you don't have pain, you could tap along with us, because tapping's like they used to say about milk, tapping does the body good, okay? You cannot tap and not get results. You may not be aware for a while, okay? Because you might find out, you might go weeks later, go, oh, that's right, that thing doesn't bother me anymore, okay? All right? So let's go to the side of the hand, rate your pain, rate your sickness, whatever is your worst symptom, because you're just going to keep going through it. You're going to keep going through it. You're going to be tapping the rest of your life, okay? So just get over yourself. All right, so here we go. Ready? And remember, you want to get specific. So what I'm going to do the setup as, even though I have this, and then I go blank pain, angry pain, sharp pain, okay? Sharp, angry pain. Because remember, we want to get an emotion. What does that pain make you feel like? Okay, helpless, hopeless, powerless, okay? Because a lot of times we can go back to your ex-husband, your ex-wife. I mean, who knows what will come up, okay? So even though I have this blank pain in my part of my body, all right? And I feel, okay, that's where you can plug in the emotion, helpless, hopeless, frustrated, angry, okay, all right? I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So get your rating, okay? Ready? You might even have a painful thought about someone else. We can even plug it in that way. Rate your 1 to 10. Oh, Carmen, you're at a 9. Wow. Okay. Oh, tapping for your dog. Sweet. Okay, here we go. Even though I have this, uh-oh, he said too much. Even though I have this blank pain in my, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And even though I have this blank pain in my body, and I feel helpless, powerless, frustrated, angry, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. One more time. Ready? Now, all you got to do is focus in on that pain. Focus in on that symptom, okay? Do it your own. That's why we can all do this and everybody gets results. And even though I have this blank pain, now remember, you're going to say this sharp stabbing pain, this horrible pain, whatever it is. In my, name the part of the body, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though it makes me feel helpless, I can still love myself anyway. Okay, going right here to the eyebrow. Okay, first thing I always tell you, take a nice breath. I have this sharp pain in my shoulder. And it stay on the eyebrow, and it makes me feel so helpless. Side of the eye. Now, you just say your words or say mine, because it'll all be the same. This sharp pain in my shoulder that makes me feel helpless. Under the eye. This sharp pain in my shoulder. Under the nose. I feel so helpless. Chin. This pain makes me feel so helpless. Collarbone. Okay, now I'm just going to throw in a question. You ask it too, okay? When else have I felt this kind of helplessness? Under the arm. Because you guys know, okay, all this helpless pain. Top of the head, this helpless pain in my body. Okay, take a nice breath. Okay. Sometimes after one round, we can feel a difference. If you got any relief, go ahead and put in your number, okay? All right? A lot of times, too, what we then want to go to is like the beliefs we have about it, okay? All right? So let's just do that so you can see what we do. Now, remember, you can come watch this anytime. Slide the thing forward to where we start the tapping. Follow along, rate your own stuff, and use this tapping over and over and over again, okay? So now what I want you to think about are your thoughts, ideas, and about the pain. Okay, Jenny, yours always goes up at first, and that's fine. Chrissy, you went down to a 10. Excellent. Okay, that was just one round. When you think about your pain going down 1 point in just one round, come on, seriously. Like, you can't give yourself a half hour or an hour to feel all the relief. Come on, people, this is good stuff. Even honey knows that. Okay, all right, so let's say that you have a belief, okay, that You always feel fear. Okay, all right, let's do that. Just say it, all right, and then rate it after I say it. Even though I feel all this fear with my pain and sickness. Okay, so now that I've said it, get your 1 to 10, okay? Because we're just on what we call a different aspect of it, okay? And even though I feel this pain with my fear and sickness, I love and accept myself. And even though I feel this fear, when my body's in pain, when I'm sick, I freak myself out. And I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And even though I feel pain, fear, when I feel my pain and sickness, see, all I'm doing is just talking about it. That's all you guys need to do. And I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I just help you find the garbage that's in back of it if you can't find it. See, that's what I do, okay? Right here, and one more time. And even though I feel this fear all the time, and it's creating pain and sickness in my body, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Eyebrow. This fear I feel all the time. Side of the eye. I know it's creating pain and sickness. Under the eye. This fear, when I think about the pain and sickness. Under the nose. All this fear in my body. Chin, I just have so much old fear in here. Hi, Andy. Right here. All this old fear. Under the arm. It's been there so long. Top of the head. It almost feels normal to me. Eyebrow. All that old fear. Side of the eye. All my old fear. Under the eye. All this fear. Under the, right here. Fear, fear. Gripping fear. Chin. All this gripping fear in my body. Collarbone. I'm letting some of it go right now. Okay, those tears are healing tears, Jenny, right here. Letting go of some of this fear. Top of the head. I feel so powerless when I'm in fear. Take a breath, okay? Okay, now if we were working one-on-one, I would say to you, when else have you felt this same kind of powerlessness, okay? And chances are you're going to have a memory that popped up. Maybe it was the way your ex talked to you or your current husband, wife, okay? Maybe you got in trouble for doing something that you didn't do when you were little. Maybe maybe, I mean, it could be anything. Maybe you broke a glass and you got in trouble because your mom was too busy or whatever, okay? All right? Remember, when we're doing the tapping, we don't have to justify the emotions. We're just feeling them and expressing them, okay? So go right back here to the eyebrow. All this fear in my body. Side of the eye. This old fear that creates pain and sickness. Under the eye. I bet I have a lot of stories in here. Under the nose. Okay, now see, if I was working with you all one-on-one, I would, to what Chrissy just wrote there, I would say something really snarky and nasty in group, just because what it does too is it kind of snaps you out of being all entrenched in this, okay? Well, what I'd say is that nasty bitch, okay? And usually people will laugh because, like, you never ever say that about your parents, right? Not even if they're dead, okay? Well, Tapping Girl says it all right here. All this old fear. All this, okay, I'm going to take Barbie's. All this old fear about rejection. Collarbone. I fear rejection. You see how we just go from one crappy emotion to another? It's so great. And that's why the rant tapping, Jenny, anybody else on here? Yes, fear, dis-ease. Every dis-ease in the body comes from right here, guys. Okay? It's a thought first. Okay, it's a crappy, fearful thought first. Okay, she's dead. Now, just so you know, when we say the things I say, Chrissy, I do not mean disrespect to the dead. Just so you know where they are, they think it's hilarious, all the things that we attach to, okay? And you know, and I know, and she knows, they were always doing the best they could. So right here on the collarbone, all this old painful fear. Under the arm, I've just tried to ignore it. Top of the head, that's not working. Eyebrow, all this old fear. I don't know, a lot of people fear dead people. Well, they got some crazy stuff about spirits and ghosts and all of that stuff under the eye. On the other side, I believe, okay, they're pure positive energy, all right? Under the nose, all this pain and fear. Chin, all this emotion. Collarbone, all this fear about my fear. Oh, yeah, because we usually have layers, okay? Under the arm, what if I choose to let some of this go? Top of the head, I'm doing it right now. Right here, letting go of this fear. Now, if you've got a specific fear, okay, maybe we'll just plug in what Jenny said. Letting go of this fear of rejection. Side of the eye, from a very long time ago. Under the eye, all that fear about being rejected. Under the nose, maybe I create pain and sickness. Chin, because I'm still trying to get approval. Collarbone, you see that? What if that's insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result? What do I mean by that? What if I'm still trying to get the attention, the love, and affection that I should be getting when I'm sick, okay, when I'm in pain, all right, and they're dead, or they don't care, or it's never going to happen, okay? That's why it's my job to do that. Under the arm, all my old fear about rejection. Top of the head, letting it go. Go right here. Yay, burping. Right here. Letting it go. Side of the eye. I bet I got a bunch of stories. Under the eye. I can tell those stories while I'm tapping. Under the nose. Getting them out of my body. No longer being a match to rejection. Because remember, if you fear rejection, you're going to get it. Collarbone. Learning to love me. Right here. Loving myself exactly as I am. Because I am rocking it. Right here. I'm amazing. Letting go of this rejection. I'm amazing. Under the eye. All that old pain and suffering. Under the nose, that created pain and suffering in my body. I'm letting that shit go too. Whoops. All right, right here. See, look at you guys getting all these light bulb moments. Oh my God, I love what I do so much. Okay, I'm going to cry. Okay, right here. All that old pain and suffering. Top of the head, I'm letting it go. That was theirs. That they projected onto me. Those lousy bastards. Under the nose, they put all their pain and fear on me. Chin, that was theirs, not mine. I've been carrying it all these years. Never realized it. I'm having an aha moment. Side of the eye, I love this clarity. This clarity is amazing. You mean I was getting more rejection because I feared rejection? That's how it works. Under the arm, I'm letting it go. I plan to feel lighter. I'm feeling lighter already. Letting it go. Safe for me to let it go. Permission granted to let this go. No longer waiting for their approval or permission. Under the arm, letting it go for me. New rules, bitches. Sorry, I keep forgetting. Right here, letting go of that pain. Letting go of that suffering. Not waiting for anybody else's permission. I'm amazing. Being in touch with my emotions. Can you tell I'm getting ramped up? Right here, letting go of that pain. Letting go of that suffering. I am awesome. Let's follow it up. You all know the song. Here we go. Ready? I am enough now. I am enough now. I am enough now. I was born this way. I am enough now. I am enough now. And nobody can take that away. One more time. I am enough now. I am enough now. I am enough now. I was born this way. Look at me, I get jumping and everything. I am enough now. I am enough now, and nobody can take that away. Now you can do that all day long, all right? So let me just tell you a few things here. Loot tomorrow is going to be on here at 5 Eastern. That's pretty sure that's 8 Pacific. I want to thank everybody that's been on here with me. If you have questions, if you need help, let me know. Let those tears flow. Keep tapping. If you got tears flowing, you just keep tapping, all right? Let it go, let it go, let it go. That's why I do the frozen thing. I love that. Letting it go, let it go, let it go. All right, just keep tapping. Just feel it and tap it and say let it go. Next week, we're actually going to be talking about money, abundance, prosperity. I'm going to show you how to do some tapping on that. Again, remember, Loot tomorrow is on here at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. I do this one-on-one. I do this in group. It is absolutely my pleasure and joy, okay? And if you want one-on-one, let me know. We knock out so much garbage in an hour or two. I'm telling you, a lot of garbage. Tell them, Andy. Anybody's worked with them, tell them. Doing it in group is really easy. You just find me. You let me know how many. We can figure out the pricing. It's easy peasy. Tapping in group is amazing, all right? It's amazing, all right? Want to remind you, share this, share it to a friend, even after we get off of here. Share it to somebody else. Go to the page, share it. I just can't thank you all enough for being here. We are changing the planet. I'm telling you, I tell everybody every time we tap, we are raising the vibration of the planet. When you do this healing work for yourself, you actually help heal the world, okay? I mean, I like to start small. And I'm looking, I got 33 watchers on here. Thanks, I love the number. Okay, so I will be back next week. Don't forget Loots tomorrow. Is there anything I'm supposed to be saying? Look up and down my timeline, and you will see I do a show twice a month. I go live every Tuesday. There are so many lessons there for you guys to learn this stuff, okay? Go look. I've usually got written in the subject what it is. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing the 5th week. I'm one of the lucky ones on here that gets to have a 5th week. Lucky you! So, until we see you next time, Tap and Honey and I want to tell you, keep tapping into you, because you're awesome, you're amazing, you deserve to feel good, you deserve every good thing. It is my joy, my pleasure, and my delight to be here with you. Thank you, Ali O'Shea, for giving me this opportunity. I'm going to get off of here before I start crying. Go be amazing. You're going to light up somebody's world today, okay? Bye, guys. Why doesn't it do what I want? Oh, try it again. There it is.